In this video, we are going to talk about drinking water. Before we go further, we need to know what is water. Water is the most essential element that all the living organisms need to survive in their life. The fresh and clean water is something need to be concerned to keep the ecosystem and living organism free from any disease and harmful substance in water. Then, what is drinking water? Drinking water is water that is safe to drink or use for food preparation. Drinking water comes from a variety of sources. The most common source of drinking water in Malaysia is tap water, bottled drinking water, and bottled mineral water. It is important to know where drinking water comes from, how it's been treated, and if it's safe to drink. Malaysia is a tropical country blessed with abundant rainfall throughout the year. In Malaysia, water supply for domestic use derive 99% from surface water such as river, whereas the remaining 1% originates from groundwaters. The surface water extracted from Sungai Langat, Sungai Selangor and Sungai Kinta in West Peninsular Malaysia are among water supply most generally utilized for drinking water. On the other hand, states like Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang, Perlis, Kedah, Sabah and Sarawak use groundwater as drinking water supply. But how about wastewater? Wastewater is any water that's been used. That could be by an individual, a business or an industrial process like farming or manufacturing. Wastewater can be broken down into two broad categories, sewage and non-sewage. Sewage is wastewater that comes from domestic activities that includes houses, hospitals, public toilets, restaurants or schools. These buildings all produce a lot of wastewater in daily basis which generally contain urine and feces, while non-sewage covers all the other types of wastewater that includes rainwater and stormwater from flooding, water from commercial activities like garage, laundry, and from industrial plants.
What is water treatment? Water treatment is the process involving various operations to remove the contaminants in order to improve the quality of the water until it meeting certain standard. Why do we need water treatment? First, drinking water shortage. Although a surface is mostly covered by the water, there's not much that is safe for drinking purposes and other purposes. It is said that only 3% of the water is fresh and suitable for drinking. This situation has raised the need for water treatment plant to desalinate the ocean water for it will reach the standard for drinking. This type of treatment refers to the treatment of saline water, which includes the distillation process and also reverse osmosis. Other than that, water treatment also provides a way for reuse the used water, where this is clearly helps to overcome this problem. The water that is discharged from household and industry will be purified and introduced back to the community for reuse. And so it ensures that the used water that still can be treated will not go waste. Next, access to safe and clean water. The water sources for our use usually is surface water, which is basically from rivers, lakes and ponds. As the population and developmental activity increase, the cleanliness and safety of the water is doubtful. To use the water directly from the sources will very much affect the human health. This is due to the toxic elements from the human activities and also from the rainwater runoff. Globally, World Health Organization notes that around 2 billion people consume fecal contaminants drinking water. Then the United Nations recorded approximately 297,000 children under 5 died from disease linked to poor sanitation, poor hygiene and unsafe drinking water. A person who ingests the chemical toxins in their water will be exposed to this, such as complications like cancer, hormone disruption, altered brain function, damage to immune and reproductive system, and also the kidney problems. To live a healthy life, it is necessary to use clean water. Water treatment ensures us to have access to this clean and safe water. Last, to protect the environment. Water treatment is also a way to protect the environment as it reduces the volume of waste released to the ecosystem. Water treatment facilities are designed to speed up the natural process of purifying water when the natural is overloaded by the growing human activities. This prevents the receiving environment from being polluted. As we know, pollution causes many environmental discomforts like unpleasant condition, also aquatic life disruption. Plus, water treatment helps to balance the water cycle by maintaining groundwater and the surface water.
The journey of drinking water starts from the source. Drinking water treatment means the removal of the pollutants present in the water and the inactivation of the microbe that may cause harm. Let's see the drinking water treatment process in detail here. First step is collection. The water is collected from the source like lake, river or reservoir. The water is to be transported from the source to the water treatment plant for the water treatment process. Next step is screening. Screening is done to remove the floating matter from the water during the water treatment process. Surface water contains a large number of suspect particles that increase the unnecessary load on the treatment site suspect particles like dry leaf, pollutants, and others. Next step is sedimentation and clarification. It is required to increase the efficiency of sedimentation as stated above during the water treatment process. Next step is filtration. Filtration is one of the most crucial steps of the water treatment process. The floats are not removed entirely by sedimentation, hence to remove the finely sized particles and floats, filtration is required. Next step is disinfection. The inactivation of pathogenic bacteria and other microorganisms that can cause disease. This step is essential to control waterborne disease. A disinfectant is added in this step to filter water. Next step is storage. The disinfection process is complete, the water is stored. And last, distribution. The distribution system consists of large water pumps at the treatment plant, overhead water storage tanks.
Hi, I'm Izzah Afifah. I will focus on drinking water quality standards. First, drinking water must be clear and does not have objectionable taste, color, and odor. It must be pleasant to drink and free from all harmful organisms, chemical substances, and radionuclides in amounts, which could constitute a hazard to the health of the consumer. The quality of drinking water is measured in terms of its microbiological, physical, chemical, and radioactivity characteristics. These characteristics and constituents with their recommended standards shall not be exceeded for maximum protection of the consumer. Next, if the characteristics or constituents in water after repeated sampling exceed the recommended standard, then it shall be investigated by the personnel of the Department of Health and the water purveyor immediately to ascertain the cause to remove the source of contamination. If these measures fail repeatedly, the public shall be notified and possibly an alternative source of supply should be sought. However, of course, there are challenges to be faced in achieving standard limit drawn by authorities. First, natural scarcity of water sources. Second, climate change. Third, contaminated water and poor sanitation. And fourth, population growth, demographic, and urbanization. Natural scarcity of water source. Challenge to the drinking water supply can occur due to global warming, overuse of water, water pollution, and drought. Floods can create more sanitation problems in river systems, as well as the contamination of rivers and large dams, giving rise to the source-receptor issues. Climate change occurs as a result of human activities such as the oil and gas industry, deforestation, power plants, oil drilling, farming, and transport, which mostly release toxic substances to the environment. Contaminated water and poor sanitation. Safe drinking water, sanitation, and hygiene are crucial to human health and well-being. Poor sanitation is linked to transmission of diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, hepatitis A, typhoid, and polio. Population growth, demographic change, and urbanization. Rapid urbanization can intensify imbalance between water supply and demand and lead to the higher likelihood of water shortage condition in developed areas.
Here are some technologies which may able to be advanced for drinking water supply in order to fulfill the future generation needs in Malaysia. First is hydro panel, where the solar energy is used to heat a sponge-like material to create water from air to water that is collected from reservoir. This solar energy to create enough drinking water for 2 to 3 people or 10 liters a day while using renewable sources. Second is the live straw. This portable drinking straw can filter dirty, unsafe water, purifies minimum 1,000 liters of water, and it also can remove 99.99% bacteria and parasites. Last is by reinventing the toilet. This improves worldwide drinking water while reducing sanitation-related problems, where it can convert human waste to burnable fuel, store energy, and disinfected non-potable water. In these drinking water issues, we can conclude that to have clean and safe drinking water is very important as it is fundamental to our health. In way to have a good drinking water supply, we as developing country should create new technologies that long-lasting and environmental friendly for our future generation. But in a time to have new technology, the community should concern about the environmental issue by spreading awareness and take an action to save the worldwide drinking water collectively. That's all from us. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.